Welcome back. I'm still with barrister and commentator Steven Barrett. Steven, you tweeted about this. I know you know about this story. I've just covered with Isabel Oakeshott the story of the convicted paedophile who groomed a 14-year-old girl for sex online. He was a migrant and, well, he is a migrant, and he was allowed to stay. Doesn't seem to have affected his application for asylum at all because he walked free from court and therefore won't be deported. Nor will this guy. This is a Turkish migrant in the city or the town Bournemouth that has become kind of migrant asylum seeker central. 3 notorious asylum seeker hotels there. This guy was staying in the Britannia hotel down there. Anyway, in December he went to a nightclub, caught on CCTV, had some kind of altercation, it was seen on camera, smashing a bottle on the wall, going up to his victim and stabbing him in the back with this broken bottle. His name is Halil Dal, 30 years old. It was a club in Bournemouth called the Camel Club. He admitted assault at court and occasioning actual bodily harm. He was, of course, handed a 24-week prison sentence. So far, so good. But it was suspended for 18 months, which means he is not eligible for automatic deportation. He says he faces persecution at home, and his defence lawyer said that he's suffered mental health problems since breaking into Britain illegally and has attempted suicide and feels hopeless. The court bench chair, someone called Nicola Phillips, said that they only had evidence of minor harm to the victim, and therefore this guy walked free from court, and therefore his application for asylum remains intact. He's not being deported. As I said earlier in the show, what do you have to do as a migrant waiting for asylum, waiting for your asylum application to be approved, to actually be deported? What do you have to do for your application to be turned down?
Well, it's a ridiculous state of affairs. This is absolutely absurd. We obviously have two-tier justice. I don't need to tell any of your listeners and viewers that Lucy Connolly went to prison for 31 months for a tweet. And this is absurd. We've become an absolutely absurd country. 24 weeks for stabbing somebody with a broken bottle is absurd. The report says chair of the bench. I don't think this level of ABH should be in a magistrate's court. I think it should have been in a much higher level court, which is where they sent Lucy Connolly. You know, why a mum who sends a tweet has to go to the really serious criminal justice, but a man who shivs somebody with a broken bottle, oh no, he's absolutely fine. And we see it in the disproportionate treatment of paedophiles. We see it time and time again. I'm afraid, Kev, just to explain to your listeners and viewers, my profession is utterly corrupted by a requirement to promote diversity, equality and inclusion. And that was required of me if I wanted to be promoted to a KC. Now, I don't want to be, and I have no interest in, I'm not saying I'm good enough, I'm not arrogant, but, you know, I don't want to try because I just don't want to show that commitment to diversity, equality. Why should I? What's that got to do with me being one of the best barristers or trying to say I'm one of the best barristers? If I wanted to take on a judicial role, to become a judge, I'd have to demonstrate my commitment to diversity, equality and inclusion. This is not secret. I mean, it's hidden in a lot of words, but it's published.
Do you get the sense,
this is what we do.
Do you get the sense, Steven, because I do, that when you get an asylum seeker waiting for their application to be processed, who breaks the law in these egregious ways, as I say, we just covered the story of a paedophile found guilty or admitting paedophile offences, child sex abuse, not sentenced to prison, well, in fact, suspended sentence. Therefore, if not custodial, doesn't have to be deported. Same situation with this guy in Bournemouth. Stabs a guy in the back, not given a custodial sentence, therefore doesn't have to be deported. Do you get the sense there's a kind of policy here? If it's an asylum seeker, try to avoid sending them to prison because, oh my God, then we'll have to deport them.
Yes, and it's not a conspiracy. So the easiest thing to sort of fling at you and I suppose now me, is the idea that we're conspiracy theorists. These are the beliefs of my fellow barristers and the people I mingled with socially. This is what they believe, that migrants are inherently good and that ordinary people of Britain are racist and morally bad. And it is that simple. You've seen it today in Keir Starmer's speech. He has a completely disjointed idea of who the working people. I'm sorry, he has a slight speech impediment, so he doesn't say working people properly. And I like to tease him, because teasing is also a great British value. But he has this view of working class people which is not in any way accurate, and they genuinely feel that their moral duty, their moral obligation, is to look after the people who illegally break into our country, to treat them with kid gloves, to give them free accommodation in 4-star hotels, to eventually give them free properties, to give them all of our money. And the rest of us is just sat here open-mouthed going, how can you believe such ridiculous things? I honestly think, Kev, that they have rebuilt the Palace of Versailles. I think that they live in such gilded lives, so cut off from ordinary people, that they're going to end up in the same way. And in many ways, you can call it self-preservation, that I didn't want to join them. There's no way that the current elite is going to last very long. They're obviously just against the people.
If you are filmed, if you, I mean, it's all about premeditation. If you're filmed smashing a bottle on the wall, going up to your victim, stabbing them. By the way, as he approached the victim, he's doing this all the time. Then he stabbed him. The chairman of the bench, or the chairwoman of the bench, effectively is saying, well, you know, by a stroke of luck, you didn't actually inflict any serious injuries. You know, that stabbing in the back, he only ended up with light injuries. Therefore, your sentence is light. Somebody who does that in a premeditated way, smashes the bottle, stabs his victim in the back, that's a prison sentence, isn't it?
It should be, and if she's a magistrate, she depresses me, because I think one of the ways we can fix this is by bringing the magistrates back, getting rid of the professional judge class, who are very easy to corrupt into certain beliefs and practices just by self-interest. This is not a conspiracy theory. You just make self-interest flow in a certain direction, and surprise, surprise, human beings will behave a certain way. But she's obviously just looking for brownie points from those above. I mean, this guy should have gone to prison.
Yeah, and then we would have had to deport him, and I suspect that he doesn't go to prison because they don't want to deport him. It's a disgrace, it really is. But lovely to speak to you as always, Stephen. We'll get you on again soon. Steven Barrett there, barrister and commentator.